It is December 9th, and this is it. Corey, hey friend. I'm curious to see where you are, but I don't want you to like really share where you are because yeah.
What's up, everybody?
But I can hear you very well. Do you have your earbuds in? I can see them, but
Yeah,
you're
I got
quiet.
him in. Can you hear me?
I'm gonna uh
Oh God.
kind of talk some more. Oh, you sound good. You sound good.
Okay.
I just had to like
It's
turn up
Christmas
my
in New York,
volume.
everybody. Happy holidays.
He's like He's all famous doing cool stuff. So this is what's
Oh, me?
happening with yes, you, Corey.
This
You're
is where
like,
I'm
I've
at.
got this. Oh, I know exactly where you are. Okay. It's quiet, actually.
It's not as crowded as it normally is.
I'm
And if
surprised.
you guys are ever in the Moynihan Station, you want to go to Magnolia Bakery and get the banana puddings. That's what I'm going to say.
I don't like bananas.
Wow.
Ugh.
You're
If
missing
I
out.
like bananas, though, I would eat them.
Okay.
I would eat. I would if I like bananas, I would have the banana pudding. But I only like plantains. I don't like bananas.
I'm
Like
about to lose. I'm
like
about to lose my Puerto
tostones.
Rican cards.
What? You don't like
I can't
what?
even take the smell of it.
I can't take the smell of bananas. They're so disgusting.
This conversation went completely off the rails just now, y'all.
Well, like just thinking about it makes me feel gross. Corey, why don't you introduce yourself real quick and then we'll get into it.
What's up, everyone? I am Corey Gums. I'm the founder of the Black Podcasters Association, as well as the founder of Black Pod News, newsletter here on Substack. Sorry, y'all, I'm not my usual space. I'm coming from an event, so I didn't want to leave Michelle. I'm hanging, so I jumped on.
Because this was on our calendar.
Yeah, but
It's the end of the year. I was telling everyone, I'm like, we're tired.
yeah,
We're tired.
it was one of those moments when I got asked. Everybody's asking me, "Am I going to be at this event?" And then I got an invite somehow out to the event, and I was like, "All right, I'll go."
All
So I'm kind
right.
of glad I did. We'll talk about that behind doors, but
Okay, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started quickly. And I think what would be cool is to talk about like highlights of the year. I don't want to talk about lowlights because I feel like there's so many. But highlights, like what went well for you this year? Like what are you really happy about and what are your thoughts?
I'm happy for how the last 4 months. I'm happy because of the growth of our newsletters based off of doing these lives every week for the past year. I'm extremely happy about that. I'm happy for the past 4 months because I have a team now, and it's lifted a lot of pressure off of me that
Mm.
has caused me to fail in other aspects. So now being able to have a team of experts and people that I can rely on to help me further the mission of the BPA and rebrand and resurge it back to the dream that I have in 2026 has me excited. That's what today was. It was a busy day today for that stuff, but
Oh
um,
wow.
those are the big things, and all the support I've been getting for the newsletter, for the crazy
Okay.
idea, and just how we're right on the cusp of 5K subscribers. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, please subscribe. Um, but yeah, I sleep better at night, so that's what I'm really happy about. So I started off the year weak and struggling, but I'm finishing off the year strong.
What about the growth? Like what what's your feeling about the growth? Like why is this something that you feel like is actually a thing? You know what I mean? Like what's so important about like the growth with your list and what you've been seeing? Um if you could expand on that, that'd be awesome.
Do we also want to talk about the followers too? Because does that matter on Substack or
Yeah, like whatever you want to talk
'cause
about. Absolutely.
that's been crazy too. I'm surprised. Well, I'm surprised one person even listens to me. Let alone we got 13,000 followers on Substack now. So it's like,
Holy crap. Oh
yeah,
my
it just blew up like one day. It just got logged on. We went from like 12 something to 13 over 13,000. But I think the most
Holy.
important thing for me is the validation of the idea of something that was needed in a
Mhm,
space that gets judged very harshly.
mhm,
Um, you know, so whenever we think of black creators, black content, black podcasts and stuff, there's always a negative connotation. Um, and also the industry side doesn't take us seriously. So to be able to have a newsletter that's looking to position black creators and black podcasters and to hit the 5K mark just shows and for us to have the sustained open rate that we've had
mhm.
just shows that there's a need for what I'm doing, and that there is a want for it, and that it's just not some random anomaly. That there are people out here that are interested in black content creators, black new black centered news in the podcast industry, and they want to support it.
I have a question about the followers. So I feel like I feel like no one talks about the Substack followers enough, or like there isn't enough conversation around that. What are your thoughts about kind of converting people from followers to actual subscribers, or maybe you don't do that, but like are you seeing some kind of energy around the follower count specific to the newsletter and the projects? Like can you extrapolate, like is something happening behind the scenes with them,
If I'm
or is
gonna
that
be
something you
honest,
can work on?
if I'm being honest and transparent, no, because I know you use. I haven't really had time to like use the notes portion of Substack
Sure.
to be able to give you a fair answer for that. I don't see a correlation because it's not been a part of my strategy. But now that I have a person that's going to be running our branding and marketing, that's going to be definitely on. That's a number we can't just ignore. Now I know we talked previously about like you know um, how to figure out how to funnel your followers into subscribers. Um, but that's definitely something I want to investigate in 2026 and test out. I think we lost you, Michelle.
Did I kill the live? I think I killed the live.
No, yeah.
So there. Okay, sorry about that. I was messing with the back end.
So
Um,
I'm sorry, I'm
have
sweating
you guys
because in New
watched?
York it's freezing, and then when you go inside it's hot. So I'm overdressed to be indoors.
But I have a question for people who are watching this. Have you noticed anything with your follower count? Like, are they doing anything? Um, we've talked about followers and the growth behind the scenes on our platforms with followers. I think they are valuable, but I like, just like Corey, it's hard to figure out what they're doing. I know what I do as a follower of people's projects, which is I'm sharing, like I'm sharing what they're doing as stuff crosses my feed and so on and so forth. But um, I feel like that's going to be an area of focus for 2026, is just trying to see, like, is there a point to that? You know, is there a point to having followers, especially since Substack is really shifting, in my view, to a social media platform versus a newsletter forward platform.
Do you know if it affects the the whole thing of what people complain about with how Substack tries to get you to sign up for notifications and not a person's list on the apps? I keep hearing people say that. I haven't paid attention to that
Uh,
part. Do you think the follower count has something to do with that?
I don't know. I mean, so it's interesting. Nicole is saying followers prevent you from getting subs. They should eliminate them. But I think, so here's how I think about it. I think about it very much like how I think about followers on like Threads. I have lots of followers on Thread, not lots, but I have followers on Threads. And I'm, following what they're doing and vice versa. And so I sometimes I get tripped up because I think about it that way, and maybe that's not the way I should be thinking about it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I look at it like the only way I could see, we talk about call to actions all the time, right? I was like, well, I have 13,000 followers, but only, right on the cusp of 5K. There has to be a way to convert them. And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe I was thinking maybe in 2026 on our notes we do more showcasing of our content on our notes, so people see the newsletter and see what kind of content we're posting on there. But also just doing a lot of asking, right? Like, or reminding, hey, whatever comments I say, we put on there or statements we make, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, I don't know. I don't think, I don't want to be too cheesy about it, like some
Yeah.
people get, here's how I got to 5K subscribers, right? I don't want to do that. I think the value in converting the followers to subscribers would be for them to actually see the type of content we're putting out. And
Mm.
if it resonates with them, then they'll be like, I want to see more and check out what they're doing over there.
Here's the thing, like, I follow people because I cannot subscribe to all your projects, guys. I just can't. I don't have the capacity. I just can't. And so I think that's part of the reason why they have that option. But there are there are projects that I follow at different times a year or that I would want to be engaged in at different times a year and others where I want to, follow what people are doing all year long. So it just kind of depends on the project. But I think for me, I like being able to follow just because I don't want to be subscribed to everybody. It does not mean that I don't support the work, that I'm not sharing their projects, that I'm not reposting. I just do not want to subscribe to everybody. It makes no sense. It clogs up my inbox. And so that's why. But I read a lot of people's work. So like I read today, most of what I read on Substack were pieces of work that I am absolutely not subscribed to, but I am a follower of those profiles.
when you say you read their
It's
work,
good too.
you mean they posted their work on their, sorry guys. Um, they posted their work on their Substack notes on their feed, or you
No,
actually
no,
went to
just
their.
no, like something it's not even that they posted it on their feed. I think they just posted it and it somehow showed on their feed. Maybe they did
Oh
or
yeah,
didn't, I don't
yeah,
know.
it does that. Yeah,
But it crossed my feed. That's a better way to put it. And I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting." And so I read it and read the different pieces and then reshared.
gotcha. Okay.
So I also did basically nothing today but produce podcast episodes.
Well, I mean, that's something. That's a lot.
Easy. It's a lot because Angela has inspired me to do a podcasting challenge in January. She didn't encourage it for January, but I've decided for me the timing's best in January, and so I'm prepping for that. Nicole, it's more work to subscribe. Yes, yes. To subscribe to someone, you have to look for it versus a one and done click. You lose quick subs, so if you don't want those, it's better for you. Yeah. I it's so hard because I want to support all the people and there's so much beautiful work on the platform. Like it's just amazing how beautiful the work is that a lot of people are producing. But all I would do is just like lay down in my bed and read your work and get nothing done.
Get nothing done, right? Yes.
I get nothing done. So yeah, today all I did was um I am in the process of prepping out all of my episodes for January. And that has been an interesting process. Um it's a lot, but I like that it's going to be for January. So 31 days of podcast episodes because I'm insane.
Is
I'm
that
insane.
is that business days or actual 31 days?
Actual 31 days, my friend.
Oh wow.
It's insane. But
Yeah. Good
but
luck.
there's a whole strategy. I mean, I did it this year. So there's a whole strategy, there's a whole like, approach that I'm taking. There's a purpose behind it. It's not just like to be insane. So we'll see how that goes. For this year, I think the success is that um I feel like this live stream is a huge success. This collaboration. what we're planning for 2026 is, I think, really important. So I'm excited about that. Um, I think the huge success is that in the last like month or so, I've really been able to like gain a lot of clarity around what I'm going to do moving forward in 2026. And what I think is really important and a value add. I started my um, creators getting my Creator Income Collective membership, which is a free membership, but I host it on Slack. And so I started that, and initially I was going to do it on Circle, but I felt like it didn't make sense to launch it on Circle when I didn't have proof of concept, right? Like I'm not paying $130 a month without proof of concept. So, it's going well. This week is our first ever done is better than perfect week. And so we had a meeting, not a meet, like a hangout last night, and we'll do it again tomorrow. So I'm very excited to see how my strategy is going to come together in 2026, specific to growing my list, which is huge, as well as um, a lot of the in-person things that I'm doing connected to um, just this idea of concept and being in person. So, probably the other thing is just I'm excited that I'm launching an in-person meetup here in Denver. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've talked about it on and off. I just, you have to have some capacity to do it. One of the really interesting things that I've observed in Denver right now is that there are a lot of really cool community spaces being curated by Black creators, which I find so wildly fascinating for so many reasons. But, so I've attended some of these different events, but they're for different types of communities of people. So I'm excited to see how my, community will thrive, in Denver, and if you come to Denver, definitely, like, attend a meetup, and so I'm very excited because 'cause that'll go live in January. So I don't know that I would've moved forward with it if I hadn't had some of the clarity that I had, that I've kinda connected with at the end of this year. So,
Meetup is big. Good, congrats.
yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So here's the thing, I used to attend a bloggers meetup here in Denver for, I wanna say, like, 5 or 6 years. And it was so much fun. The woman who did it, her name's Jenny, and she basically like I'm not doing this by the way, but what she did was she worked with a lot of different spaces and like restaurants, and we would be comped our meal, and we would then the big ask would be just to share the experience with the space. 9 times out of 10, it was amazing. We even were, sponsored by Safeway one time, which was really cool because then we got to leave with a whole bunch of groceries. Um,
That's
I don't
cool.
have the capacity to do that, and I actually don't think that, restaurants really have the budget to do that. So I'm approaching it differently where I'm identifying spots that I think we can support, and we just go and we meet and we spend the money and we do whatever and we talk about different topics that I've identified to be good ones to talk about throughout the year and keep it simple. Hi Stephanie. Hi
You
Michael.
know,
Hi Nicole. Hi Larry.
it's funny you
I'm
said
saying
that
hi to everybody.
because the venue I was meeting with today for possibly my event for next year,
Oh.
one of the people I was talking with, we had a discussion and we were talking about how sometimes we tend to think. She was just saying like with her own events, sometimes we want to over deliver, and a lot of
Mhm,
times people just they just want it to be simple for them, right? Their ask is real simple. So when you talked about keeping it simple, I was like the simplicity, and it's like you have this vision of raising the bar, creating this experience, and sometimes you just got to meet the needs of the people, and that's it. That's the experience.
mhm,
Just give them a good experience in doing that part. So it's
mhm.
good that you're keeping it simple. Yeah, like the whole. the restaurant thing seems cool and everything, but I don't. That was what was that pre-COVID? That sounds like a
Yes.
pre-COVID move because ain't
Yes. I mean, for
nobody's doing
years.
that. Yeah, like I don't see anybody really doing that, especially with these tariffs going on. Like I don't
It's
see that
expensive.
happening.
It's expensive
Yeah,
to do. And
yeah,
specifically Denver's restaurant industry is under a lot of pressure. It's one of the, I think it's the top two most challenging markets in the country to own a restaurant in. So I don't want to go and add to the complexity of their work.
yeah,
That's kind of the opposite of the ethos of what I want to be doing. I'd rather just be like, I'm so excited to support this, venue. We're gonna go and eat or whatever we're gonna do, talk about a topic and keep it simple and go. Or and it's easy here because they're pretty easy. So like I could have them go hiking, we could go snowboarding, we could like go to hot springs. Like they're like meetups here can be a lot of things and people are pretty up for it. So I'm probably gonna mix it where it's like one day it's like very clearly gonna be we're talking about a topic like in a more formal way, and then the next meetup would be a more informal experience because I want for people who are in the creator economy here in Denver and who are visiting just to be in community with one another. Today, no, for the last couple of days, I've been following this guy from Texas, from Austin, black guy from Austin, as he and his um, partner and their dog like experienced Colorado, and they actually did a really, really good job of putting together an itinerary. But it would have been so cool if I had a meetup and that this creator could be in community with us because Texas isn't far from Denver. You know what I mean? Like it's just a road trip or like an hour and a half flight, not even. So I want to kind of facilitate a lot more like in-person connections with people. And there's a lot of inbound traffic here. And I don't want to lose out on that, especially if I end up not going to as many events as I'm hoping to go to. It could end up that I'm just like, I'm going to stay at the house again. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Stephanie is saying, in 2025, that's really the plug to get grocery sponsors. Yes, girl. And it kind of the funny thing about Safeway when they sponsored, we didn't have to do anything. They were just like, here are groceries and giant bags, and it was just a really cool experience because we got to meet the regional team and learn about how they source the food and products local like in this region. So it was pretty cool. So, but that's not what I'm going to be doing because I don't have the bandwidth to do that. And
yeah.
yeah, you know. So yeah, I think having clarity on that's going to move forward. I also, and I'm not going to talk about this at length on the platform, but I've changed my email uh, approach for 2026. And so I'm very happy about that. And that's all I'm going to say. And so I'm going to be emailing in a very different way in the new year too. So I think that's
I'm
going to
sorry
be an
for all the
important switch.
movement. I'm sorry for all the movement.
What?
They don't have I'm at a
There are
little
no
spot.
seats there.
Yeah, there's no seats. So you don't realize how heavy your
It's
phone is until you start holding
anti-poverty.
it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean that's
The
the whole area. That's the whole
anti-poverty
Midtown Manhattan.
architecture.
Yes.
No, but here's the thing about, what, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant about New York City. So for
Hey,
those of you watching, you may not know, but I went to college in upstate New York. So I was closer to Canada than I was to New York City, but I spent time in New York City, right? Back in the day. And to me, how New York City, like how Manhattan specifically is right now is so weird. Like, and I've spent a lot of time over the years in Manhattan and in the boroughs and stuff. It is too bougie. There are too many sweet greens. And it's just so weird to me sometimes. I'm just like, the grit is gone. The grit is very much gone, that I appreciated as a college age student.
Thank you,
There, there,
transplants.
there's no way you could get Escape from New York, like, and have it be plausible in the environment that is
Oh no. I mean,
2025 New
actually,
York.
no, actually, that's
No,
that's
you
what
can't.
that's what's going to create Escape from New York.
What, the
That's what's
bougie
going to
people?
create. Yeah, it's going to collapse, and they're going to lose their minds, and everything's going to fall apart. And now you have Escape from New York.
I don't know. You guys, by the way, in case you're like, what the hell are they talking about? So, Escape from New York is this very, very, very good classic movie where basically the island of Manhattan, because it's basically an island, becomes a supermax prison. And the president flies over and his plane crashes. And then Kirk Russell is like tapped to get him out of New York, but they have to escape first. It's an excellent movie. 10/10 recommend. But once you watch it, you'll understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, which is it's so bougie now that I just can't even imagine. I just can't even imagine. They might not have, Larry. That I mean, they're not
Larry, you'd be
Gen X.
surprised what people do not hear, have not heard of, or have seen.
I mean, I can't assume anything. Okay. So what other things are you excited about for next year? What things are you excited about for next year? Like what's up with you? What are you thinking about? Like what's happening? Maybe we don't
I
know.
I mean, it's not much. This idea for my event slash future conference is bigger than I expected it to be.
Ooh,
Um, well, the most important part of it is is managing and planning it properly. But
okay.
the response I've been getting so far from the people I've been talking to is, "You better do this." Like they want it, and
Oh,
it's turning into a more collaborative event. So it's
okay.
just a matter of not letting that not letting that gas my head up and like, yeah,
Mm.
overextend and over, it's planning it properly, executing it properly. But I like the response we're getting, which to me, some lessons learned from doing my own previous events, is also
Oh
I'm a
yeah.
little skeptical about because people sit here and tell you, oh yeah, yeah, and then they don't show up or buy tickets. Um,
No, but you know what? Okay, wait, here. Please stop saying that. That
no,
energy,
because no,
but it drives me crazy.
yeah, but I don't do wishful thinking either. So,
No, it's
um,
not wishful thinking, but I want you to like just you learned from those other experiences and now you have a team to really support your project. You're planning months and months and months and months and months and months ahead. So I have every faith and I've
oh, look,
attended
look,
your
look,
event.
look, look,
So
look,
this is
Michelle,
why.
Michelle, look, just because you hear me, look, see, I'm not a normal
Quiet.
person. Just because I talk about it the way I talk about it doesn't mean it's not going to be executed. Like I won't do it at all if there's an
Yeah.
inclination that this is not going to be successful. And that's that's what I tell everybody about this event. We just won't do it. Like I'm not going to put out a substandard product. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying? I don't
you're
believe in
totally not
manifestation.
hearing what I just
No, I
said.
don't. No,
I'm
no,
not
because I
saying
don't believe in that
but you
stuff.
you
I don't
stop.
believe in
I
that.
never said anything about manifesting. That's why I'm
No,
telling
I'm
you to
looking at the.
stop talking. I said nothing about manifesting. What is happening?
Oh no, no, you're telling me not to. You're telling me basically like the whole thing about people to buy. Like, look, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it right.
I literally said, wait, let me speak. I literally said the fact that you're planning months out, like you have a team, you're planning months out, you have systems. Like I just feel like, see, it was Nicole, it wasn't even me. I just feel like the structure that you need to have in place in order to have an event that's successful is there, right? I have attended your events. It's not even I've attended. They're
I
amazing.
know.
You have a list that you've been building out. So you also have people to market to. Like this is why I'm saying like it's not about woo. It's just like the components you need for me to believe that it's going to be successful, they're all there. That's why I was saying what I was saying. Hi,
Okay,
Anthony.
okay.
So there's no like woo about
But
it. It's just
I'm
like
excited about that,
facts.
and I'm excited
Oh,
about the direction that the BPA is going to go in 2026. I dropped the ball with engagement and stuff during this year, and I own that. Um, but that's I think that's what I'm more excited about is the reinvigoration of the community and what we've been talking about behind the scenes and what the ideas that the team has been bouncing off and seeing it come to life. So um, it's interesting to have a vision and to have other people come in and like take that vision and add on to it. And it's like, well, I never thought about it that way, or I didn't see it that way. But
mhm,
those are the two things I'm really excited about. Um, and the growth of the newsletter.
mhm,
But like all these three things are all kind of like in one bucket for me.
mhm,
As far as excitement goes, because I think they all kind of feed off of each other. So
mhm.
that's how I look at it.
Nicole is saying she totally understands because she hosted an event earlier this year, and it felt like the people didn't show up matching the effort that she put into it. Um, it didn't mean that her event wasn't good. It was, but that it was really like you're putting in all your efforts and you're trying to be careful so that it matches your expectations match the work that you've done. And Stephanie's like, I get that.
You know, but see, for me with my event, I'm just saying this, Michelle. Okay,
Okay.
and people ask for the event, and that's where my issue is you're asking for this event. Not well,
Mhm,
it's twofold for me, and my experience in being in the position I'm in when I'm dealing with
mhm,
people in the podcast space. One, they complain that there's nothing there for their community, right? For the Black community.
mhm,
That's number one.
mhm,
Two, they say they want this thing, and you were there when you got to witness what I was saying that day. Like, hey, these things take work. These things don't just
yeah,
the people who are putting these things together. This is not an easy lift for a lot of us, right? And a lot of times it's just
right,
maybe one or two people doing it. But you can't complain about the industry not recognizing you when you have people who have said, F the industry, we'll do it ourselves, and you don't show up and support. That is where my concern comes from. My
mhm,
concern comes from, I like to call people out for their shit. Like,
mhm,
yo, like if you can't keep complaining about something and you have whether they execute it properly or how you think they should execute it, that's a whole nother conversation. But they're doing what nobody else is doing. And if you can't cry about something and not support the solution that somebody offers, or you
mhm,
go do it yourself. And that's basically how I look at it. And that's where a lot of my pushback comes from. It's like I've
mhm,
been doing this for 4 years. The last 2 years, it barely happened. The last two
mhm,
years, people were begging me, like, "Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this?" And then they didn't buy the
mhm,
tickets. And like I planned the same time this year, so I had almost 7 months planning. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Sold 3 tickets.
mhm.
I'm not doing this for me. I don't do
Yeah,
this for me. Like I'll keep
yeah,
it real. I don't like the past. I haven't made no money off of it. I also
no,
haven't spent
yeah,
much money on it, but I still haven't made no money off of it. Like,
yeah.
so it's not enough. I'm not doing it for my
I
own
mean,
good.
yeah.
But I
I'm
know it's
gonna say
needed. I
some.
know it's needed because it's for me. The industry needs to show that we show up to our own stuff, right? There has to be a
I
clear
mean,
message that we supporting our own.
wait.
Like we're part of our own
Here's the thing.
thing.
I actually disagree with you on something, and I think it's really important. Fuck the industry. Like that. Like I think a motivation about what the industry needs to see or blah blah blah. All that's bullshit.
As an
I think
organization, I
the
can't
diff.
say
I
that.
think that no, no, but I can say it. So I'm not leading the organization. I'm saying that's sometimes like so here's an example. Sometimes there are years where you don't do the thing. I'm gonna be contrarian a little bit. Sometimes maybe it is that you don't do the thing because it's a building moment, capacity isn't there, or maybe people just need to experience not having the
Oh, I agree
resource.
with that. Yeah, I agree with
You know
that.
what I mean? And so, to me, like this year, you were working hard. You were building quietly behind the scenes. I don't feel like you had anything to apologize for to anybody because some years you build stealthily, you build in silence, right? So to me, this year was a build in silence, making quiet, like little ninja moves. You know what I mean? Like building stuff out, doing different things. But you can't always be in public. You can't always be chit-chatting with people when you're trying to do certain work. Like sometimes you just need to do the work in order to be able to shift to being more front facing later. As for hosting an event, if you don't want to host an event, you don't have to host an event. Like no one just because people ask doesn't mean that you have to do. Like
I mean, I learned that lesson
I'm
too.
serious. You could literally just keep it simple and be like, I instead of a marquee event, you could just be like, "Hey, I'm doing meetups." There's a reason why I'm doing meetups that are chill because I don't want to host another big event like that. I didn't host a big event like what you've done, but I've hosted an event that cost thousands of dollars, was a lot of planning. It was a lot. And so to Stephanie's point, she's talking about why not do a tour, go to a few cities. Like maybe you go to Philly where you can just get on a train from New York to Philly for $30 round trip, because I've done that, and you meet at a coffee shop, a locally no, I'm serious, like a
No, I'm
locally
laughing at
owned
the ticket
coffee
price.
shop. That's what I
No,
paid,
I do it for
like,
20, so that's why I'm
well,
laughing.
whatever, I'm not from there, maybe they ripped me off. My
No, you
point
just
is it
don't.
was cheap to me, right? Anyway, it was cheap to me. My point is, and then you have a cool meetup in Philly and you do it in DC. You go to DC all the time. Like maybe it doesn't have to be how you're currently imagining it. That's what I'm saying.
I agree
You know
with
what I
you.
mean? Like there's
Or
so just
I
because
just
people ask for something doesn't mean you have to do.
well,
You
like I said,
you
that
should.
lesson was learned. That lesson was learned for me. I mean, I don't like doing events, so I don't have to do any of it.
Yeah.
I want to answer Stephanie's about a tour. So, but here's the thing about a tour, right? I guess Stephanie, you could clarify in the chat. When you say tour, what do you mean? Do you mean like what Michelle just said, where it's just like, hey, I'm going to be in Philly on this date. Let's meet up at a coffee shop, or let's do a little a low lift meetup at a bar or something? Or do you mean like an actual tour? Because a tour is bigger than doing an event, a single event.
I
I
mean,
just want
but
clarification on that.
what I said, what she's saying, what
Okay.
I said.
I think there's a delay
Something
on the
easy.
chat here. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
That's yeah. I mean, I try to do that with some people. I let a bunch of people know like, hey, I'm gonna be in your city. Let's meet up. Like, you know. But I haven't officially done anything, and maybe that's something that will. I mean, we've talked about doing more lower lift meetups and stuff like that. Some simple stuff.
mm,
I've even talked to some people in organizations about like collaborators, so that the work is not
yeah,
solely on us. And the
yeah,
responsibility is not solely on us. So, and that's kind of the conversation I had today about my event. It went from this is your event to hold on, there's an opportunity here for us to collaborate with other organizations and other groups that could benefit
uh-huh.
from what we're trying to bring. So to help offset some of that work, and as well as just to raise the percentage of success in my book, you know, of it it'd be more impactful, you know. So like we're investigating it. It's going to be further conversations. I have more updates when we come back from our break. Hopefully, I have a date for everybody by that time.
Ooh,
Because that's going to be because when we come back, we need to have a date. But you know, this it's just recognizing that there's opportunities with collaboration to help offset some of this work. Because I ain't trying to do it all. I ain't trying to
no,
own
I
it all
mean, it's
either.
not fair to you. It's not fair to you.
Or
It's
my
not
team.
reasonable, I think. Yeah, it's not. And um I think that in
Oh,
2026 collaborations in particular are going to be extremely extremely important
and
to be
I want to
involved
address your
in and involved with.
I want to address your fuck the industry thing because no, because there's a part, you know me, there's a part of me that is like that. You've heard me talk privately, right?
I
Like,
know.
but I also have to remember that unlike a lot of people maybe on here, I'm running an organization of people that are not solely that may not feel the same way I do. But I
Right.
also feel like at what point there has to be somebody that takes on the helm of holding the industry responsible. Um,
Mhm.
oh, you, Stephanie, it's crazy. It's yeah. Even when I talk to them, it's censored. But uh, but there has to be at some point there has to be saying, hey, because the attitude that I have with the event that I'm putting together is fuck the industry. Like it is like,
Yeah.
we're tired of hearing this stuff from y'all. You keep saying X, Y, and Z. Your actions keep proving A, B, C. So now we're just
Yeah.
gonna go over here and do our own thing. And it's not asking for validation because we are
Mhm.
looking for sponsors, we are looking for companies, and it's saying to the companies, hey, we're showing you we could do this without all the other that stuff that y'all think we need to do. And it's
Mhm.
successful. Like we could like almost kind of like changing the mindset and changing the model on how they look at our content and stuff. Because what I've learned is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, what I've learned in my own experience in this and stuff, it's almost like everybody operates on like a boilerplate on how they want to do this, interactions with each other or how they have their policies on how they want to do things. And one of my biggest arguments with companies that have come and tried to pitch to me about coming to the BPA and trying to, spin their advertising campaigns and stuff was I keep saying like our listeners are different. We consume content differently. And you guys keep
Mhm.
thinking this model that you're coming is going to work over here, and it's not.
Mhm.
And no matter how much data they keep putting out there, it keeps showing that we're engaged. But your expectations of engagement don't meet how we engage. And unless you're willing to change that and be like water, I've been listening to a lot of Bruce Lee lately. Be like water, it's not going to work. So it's almost like you got to show and prove that we could do this. We're doing something different over here, and this is how we engage. And you got to give them feedback on like, okay, you know, whether it's a first time event, second, third, here's how many people show up. Here's how they, whatever data
Mhm.
points you need to give them. So that's kind of why I'm like, that's kind of where my approach is. It's like, well, the BPA has to be one of those, not the organization, but one of those organizations that says, hey, you need to work with our creators in our community, both internally in our community, but it's also outside of our community as a whole, and come with a different approach than this thing that you've been doing because you're losing out. You want to reach our audience, but you don't want to work with us in that capacity. Does that make sense, or did I just
But
do a whole
this
talk in the
is
circles
I
thing?
agree with you. No, I agree with you actually, but I also think like I've brought this up before everybody, but I also think that I almost feel like instead of looking to be partnered uh with podcasting focused companies, I would like why can't you partner with Macy's? Like all the people in your community shop. I have good ideas. I'm just saying. Like
Oh no, no,
I'm just saying. Like
that's a conversation that we've been having. It's look,
you know what I mean? So
I'm like you, contrarian, think outside the box. Let's look at other industries that we could work with in
well,
regards to this.
it's not even contrarian, it's just you have
Well,
hundreds and hundreds of people as well as thousands that you're working with. What are commonalities that these people have? Like, when I look at the brands that I would love to work with in 2025, I would love to work with Ghost Town, um, creamer and soy milks. They 'cause I'm a coffee girl. I would so any Black-owned company that's making soy milk and stuff like that, that's so cool. Or the bread there's a bread company that I'm excited about. Or, like, I just feel like there are companies that serve our communities that you're not gonna have to do all these, like, leaping around and, like, backflips to get them to understand why we respond to messaging differently. Like, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. And if they're that hard to sell, which quite frankly moving forward, like, is a litmus test for me. If I have to, like, go through this much work to get you to see our value, I can't work with you. Not
yeah,
in this environment. I just can't. Like, it has to be we have to both at least come to the table and, have a mutual respect enough to see the value of one another's. Like, and if they can't even arrive at the table. Maybe they don't get what they could do, but they can't even be like, "Wow, like, I see what you're building, and I
Yeah,
see
be
when you
willing to, yeah.
extrapolate all the audiences that the people that you're serving are also serving." Like, if they can't even think about it in an expansive way like that, why the hell are they even talking to you? That makes me crazy,
Well,
you know?
I know a lot of the pitch that I get, or a lot of conversations that come my way, is it's always, we've been trying to get into your, we've been trying to get, reach your audience. And I'm just like, all right, bro, cool story, bro. Cool story, because your actions are saying something completely different. You're what you're telling me you can't do, or how you're going to do it, it's telling me that's not true. So, I'm telling you, y-
Mhm.
y- anyway, I'm not going to get on that soapbox, but you're
No, no,
telling
no.
me, you're telling me how, like, how my community thinks and how they should operate, and I'm telling you that's not how they think and operate. So it's
It's
like,
like I joke that, I think that sometimes people think that they understand how we think, and I'm like, "No, but we have a PhD in how you think." So, there you go.
that's a whole entire
I will say
podcast.
this. Yeah, that's all different. That's a grits and eggs podcast, which
Yeah,
I would love to partner with him. He seems so cool.
he was
So
here in New
I
York
will
this week, and
mention
I
this.
missed him. I wanted to go check him. I wanted to check him.
I'm a fan. Um, I am very excited because in addition to the online summit that we are all hosting in February, I spent like this will all make sense in a second. I spent like 5 days really working through like creating a framework, a loose kind of framework of 2026. And so what I did was I like thought about the things I wanted to like the events I wanted to attend, the live streams, like all this stuff, like vacations, rest, like I went through it all. And during that process, I realized that there was a gap in the market, an opportunity that I'm excited to do a summit around. Yes, Michael, I don't see it around me, but I have a tabletop uh calendar, and each page is like the month. And so I just kind of work through the year, like anything I wanted to do, like I want to study Spanish somewhere. I like they're just things that are on my list, okay? And so and it's a framework, it's not like rigid. I worked through the whole year, and it was a really cool exercise because I don't think I would have recognized this opportunity if I hadn't done that. So now I'm working on this summit that I'm gonna do on October 9th and 10th, and the book that I was supposed to write this year, I'm writing that book. So I'm super excited. I have the dates for all that, like when the book is gonna go live, as well as romance book. The romance book, I'm gonna probably get done in the next couple weeks because 'cause I've been wanting to do that forever. So I'm really excited. So, yeah, I'm really excited to get back into romance writing. So excited. And the business book, I'm super excited about that. I have the capacity to get it done. And I've set up the pre-order, like everything's ready to go. And so I'm going to aggressively rest between now and the beginning of the year because um I have a lot to do. So I'm very excited. I'm excited to like announce these things as they go live. I haven't announced the name of the meetup group yet because I'm waiting again until January, the first week of January to do that. So yeah, I'm excited for these new things that are coming.
You just reminded me. I do have something I'm also excited about, a personal project of mine that I've been working on for
Cool.
the past couple of weeks. I created my own CEO brain using Codex. I'm using Claude, Google, Gemini, and ChatGPT.
You can
And
use all of them together? Oh god.
I sent you the video. Um, uh,
Okay.
No, but I put it to you. So it automates a lot of the processes that I'm gonna have to do, and it helps me like because of the neurodivergent side of me. It also help. I've also put in
Mhm,
some fail safe stuff to remind me, to alert me on things and stuff like that. But I'm excited because it's gonna help me streamline a lot of the stuff that's been obstacles for me this year.
mhm,
I just sat like you. I just sat down and I mean, I just reviewed my year and I just wrote down. I had to have a come to Jesus moment with myself and be like, all right, what were the things that were really getting in the way? With like you don't lie to yourself about it. Outside of the
mhm.
stuff you talked about in therapy, what is the stuff that's been getting in your way, and how can you create a tool that helps you with it? And it's been I basically learned that I've been using AI wrong this whole time, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited about
Okay.
and if it works for me, it's also set up so that it could be a repeatable framework for other people. So I'm excited about that
Ooh,
part too.
okay,
Yeah. So
okay.
when
Um,
I finish work when I finish working on the when I finish working on all the testing, I'm gonna do a demo for you and Angela so y'all can see what I built.
I'm excited about this. I'm not AI girly per se,
I
but I
know.
am excited about this project. I'm very excited about this. Yes, Michael, the romance is absolutely a palate cleanser for me. That's the other reason why I'm not doing my personal finance content because I just don't have the bandwidth to do it. I need lighter stuff, my friend, lighter, because too much is going on. Talking about light, as we start to wrap up the conversation, what'd you think about the? I can't believe I'm going to ask you this about the 50 Cent. Did you get a chance to see that
I'm not wa-
show on Netflix
I'm
about
not watching
Diddy?
that. It's stuff from I mean, I don't know why everybody's acting all surprised. Um
It's not
I'm
that I'm surprised though, but it was interesting.
I'm not watching it. I will say this for the content creators out there that hire people, pay your people. Because the only reason why this thing exists is because he refused to pay the person he hired to take the
Mhm.
footage. So, and this is why doing good business and and treating your team properly. And if you can't pay a person, don't lie to them. Don't overextend yourself. Be honest about the situation you're in. But oh, congratulations, Stephanie. She got a grant for a podcast.
Angela?
Huh?
I sorry, I popped away because Angela just texted us. You could check it out
Oh,
in a second. Stephanie,
congrats. That's you.
congratulations.
Congratulations. That's big.
Congratulations. I'm
That's
really
another
excited
space
for
that
you.
people are not capitalizing off of. But Danielle's been showing that part. Yeah.
Yes, go girl.
But
I'm
yeah,
so
with this
proud of
whole
her.
50 Cent thing, I mean, 50 is doing it how I would do it if I was in his situation. So,
You know what I took away from that besides the very obvious that you pointed out, which is pay people, but also don't be an asshole. The other thing that I took away from that is produce the work. I am on neither one of their teams because I think they're both problematic, but we'll just leave it at that. Um, produce the work that you want to produce. That's the thing I left with. Like he crafted a very well thought out 4 episode piece of creative work. And wait just a second. What'd she say? Oh, okay. Okay. Creative work. And what if he asked for permission to do so? Oh, okay. So you know more than okay, okay. So just produce the work that you dream of doing, and you produce it at the point that you are at now. Like sometimes people way overthink these things. Just get it done in the way that you can in the moment that you're in currently. That is what I left with, right? And yeah, like he he was able to really capitalize on a moment. Conversations on Threads were crazy around that. So yeah, it was just very interesting. Exactly, Michael. That's why I'm like, I'm on neither person's side. Um, yeah. So yeah, do the work that you dream of doing. Stop waiting for permission for other people to do it. That's kind of what I left with. And don't be an asshole. Because it will always come back, right? Oh, 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 it's bad. Um, it'll
I
always come
mean,
back.
that
So
that's like a Queen's pedigree thing. You don't ask for permission, you just go and do it.
you do
So
it. That's
yeah,
right.
I mean that's just do it, right? That's more than just a slogan.
Right. It's
And
an
that's always been
action.
his attitude. Yeah, you know, that's been his attitude about how he does things too. So, but I mean, I mean, the troll is real though.
Yeah.
That much I will say. Um,
Yeah.
but I think the biggest takeaway for me, I mean, of course, what Puffy did is not, I don't condone it. It's not excusable or anything like that. But this would never be a situation if he treated people properly and did things to follow through what he said he was going to do and pay people. Um, but it's also going to catch up to him eventually. You can't move and you can't do stuff in the world like this and get a slap on the wrist unless you're
Hmm.
the president of the United States. But you know but you got to get that power first. That's power. But I'm not. I don't really care about the documentary shit. I don't think I'm ever going to watch it. Honestly, to
That's
be
okay.
honest, since I've gotten into this content creation side of things, I don't value documentaries as much as I used to because I know that the narrative can be told and it can be constructed in a way, like you said, however the producer was to produce it.
Hmm.
So, like even some of my favorite, like Ken Burns and like those kind of documentaries, I watch with a very, when I do watch them, I watch with a very critical eye because I know you can shape the story and the information how you want to fit whatever narrative you're trying to produce with that documentary.
Stephanie was saying that she's sharing an interesting Ludacris story where I guess he was supposed to perform, but the promoter wasn't going to pay the photographer. So Luda was like, I'm not going to perform until you pay the photographer, which I think is awesome. Go Ludacris. Yay. Um, People, are you guys going on vacation or doing anything during the holiday season? I do want to bring up, so again, this is our last live of 2026 or 2025, excuse me. We will be back on Tuesday, January. I'm tired. I
Sure.
told you. And you're like, Michelle, January 20th, whatever, of 2026. It's a
I
Tuesday.
don't think
It's
people
the
understand. I don't think people understand the back and forth that went just for us to come to an agreement for that date. And now you want to push it to June?
So we'll be back on January 20th, 2026, which is the day after the weekend that I observe, which is Martin Luther King Jr. Weekend, day weekend. I will go to a basketball game and to the MLK Jr. Rodeo that we have here in town because we have 3 weeks of rodeo. It's you know what? I would have to share some videos and stuff with you guys. It's so much fun. So yes. And I want you guys to thank you, Stephanie. I want you guys to really I want to give you permission to rest, to set boundaries for the upcoming year, to not take any shit, um, to double down on projects with people that you like adore and care about. Like we might fuss with one another, but we have a high level of respect for one another. And like literally like Angela and Corey are like family to me. And so I feel very safe to fuss at them
Don't make me cry, Michelle.
in the way that we do. Um, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone for just being so supportive of this project, for showing up. Um, we appreciate that. You're seen, and we want for you to be successful in the work that you're doing. I think as we wrap up, I want us to talk a little bit more about how we can be of service to the viewers to our communities and what our projects are real quick, and then that's it. So Corey, because I know I feel like you're sitting somewhere on
No, I'm
cement.
standing. No, I'm standing on this thing, this
Oh,
bar thing.
this is why
Is it next? I'm
freaking
gonna.
pointy
So
hand.
lesson learned. I'm going to keep a tripod in my bag for in case I ever have to do
Oh,
something like this on the go. Because holding the phone and switching hands and my
done
bag
it
keeps
before. It's
falling in
not
between my legs. You know, it just. I'm going to be better prepared for this moment. Um, but projects. I mean, I basically
or
told
just yeah.
everybody. Um, one of my goals this upcoming year, and it's something that we're going to be rolling out, is if you're a Black podcaster or you're in the podcast industry, we're going to be rolling out a survey in 2026, and I'm talking about like soon, like probably in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Um, we would love to get your feedback. We need your feedback. Not even love to get it. We need the feedback because that's the only way we can ensure. I can assume, and my team, we can assume just from our own experiences and things that we've dealt with of what people want and what they need. But the only way we know what you need or what you want and how we can support people is you got to tell us. So anytime you get a survey from a Black creator or somebody that's asking you for feedback or input, or organization like us asking for input, please answer it because that we need that data so that we could better serve you. So that's going to be my ask from everybody, and in the next couple of weeks.
What about joining Black Podcast Association? Like, how does that
Oh
work?
yes, oh you can go to blackpodcastassociation.com um, and become a member. You can become we're gonna be rebranding some stuff. So you can
Okay.
pick one of your choice of membership. We're gonna be rolling out organizational memberships too. So if you have a company or a business or
Oh,
organization,
cool.
school
Okay.
or stuff like that, that you would like to partner with us, please feel free to reach out to me. We could discuss how that would look and how that would work for you. Um, we're gonna be going back to doing monthly workshops and stuff.
Mhm.
I got one next week, next Thursday. And I'm gonna look if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the newsletter. If you are subscribed, look out for the newsletter. I'm gonna be blasting out an email. We're doing our virtual meetup for next Thursday, December 18th, 6 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern. And Michelle knows you come to one. It's gonna be a great time.
It's a good
I'm
time.
not running it this time, so yeah, it's going to be even greater time. But it's an opportunity for you to come meet some of the members in the community that you may not have met before, ask questions, and just see the uh, see how our community operates and how much fun we have. So there we go.
That sounds awesome. I 10/10 recommend. I am a member, and so definitely, I encourage you to be a member or share with, friends and family or colleagues that you think would be a good fit for the Black Podcasters Association. The other thing I want to say is, so again, I run Creators Getting Paid. I interview creators who have monetized their brands. I'm going to start reaching out to people probably tomorrow for my next round of interviews. I also share what I've been doing. One of the things I'm really excited about is, and I think this is important for you guys to hear, I did a lot of quiet experimentation this year. And so to Corey's point, I got data about what people really wanted from me. That also informed my decision about the summit in October. So, I have developed a couple of things as a result of all that experimentation. So the first thing is, again, I now have a membership community. It's free. It's going to be on a crowdfunded model, basically, and it's called the Creator Income Collective. I host it on Slack. If you're interested in being a part of that, just DM me. One important part of that project is I'm building out a spreadsheet of people's projects and the information around like what they're working on so that you can do newsletter swaps with one another. One of the reasons why I made so much money as a romance author is because the romance girlies do swaps. If you don't know this, they do a lot of swaps. They get in front of other audiences that are aligned with the types of books that they're writing. And in the case of the Creator Income Collective, I'm building out a spreadsheet of newsletters and members who are doing work in the creator economy. But these are people who are very likely aligned with the work you're doing, or great people to collaborate with. They're not competing with what you're doing. They're the people that you want to get in front of. So that is a resource that we're building out as an incentive to be a part of the community. So that is something. Just, again, DM me and I'll send the details to be a part of that. Other than that,
Michelle,
I
how
wish
can
you
they learn
guys.
more about your books?
Oh, the book. I will share that information in January. Not the romance books.
Oh, your romance
The
books.
the
That's
the
that's
business one that I'm writing. No, dude. You know what? Only romance
I
girlies
I
and
tried.
dudes. No, no. So the romance books, you're never gonna know unless you're in that space. Like, because my pen name actually does have a podcast. And so once I get done with the podcast for my challenge, which should be by the end of next week, I'm gonna be recording podcasts for my romance pen name.
What's the name
I'm
of the
so
podcast?
excited. I'm not telling you. But if you want the name of the book that I'm publishing for my business,
No,
so
we want
the
the
business
romance
brand for
one.
Creators Getting
Everybody,
Paid, for Creators Getting Paid, then I will be announcing that at the beginning of January. Whatever, Corey,
I
because I'm
tried,
in
y'all.
pre-sale
I,
mode.
I tried. I'm gonna keep trying.
You got the audience for it, so you don't need to know. You don't need to know everything.
Maybe
Hey,
that's maybe I'm looking for a new hobby. I don't know.
no, no, whatever, whatever. I want to write actually a dystopian book, not a romance, and also I've had a concept for a long time that every once in a while my mom's like, "Are you going to write that book?" And I'm like, "I'm living in a dystopian future, so I don't know that I need to write it, but I have a good concept." So that I just have a lot going on. I have a lot of output that has to happen, guys. So this is what I do when I go offline. I just get a whole bunch of shit done quietly, and then I go to a sauna or hot springs and just chill out. So that's my next like 6 weeks, is just getting a whole bunch of stuff done and batching a lot of work so that I'm ahead. I'm ahead at the beginning of the year.
Okie
It's a
dokie.
pain, but okay, with that being said, I'm gonna let Corey go so this man can get to his house, because he's
Yeah,
not even close to his house. And you
yeah. I
guys,
got a
I wish you. He's got to hop on a train.
train and a bus, so I probably won't get home for like another hour, and it's freezing out. So, but yeah, my name's Corey Gums. I'm the founder of the Black Podcasters Association. You can go to blackpodcastersassociation.com to learn more. And founder of Black Pod News, blkpodnews.com, a newsletter for the Black centered content on podcasting in the podcast industry, right here on Substack.
My name is Michelle Jackson. I run Creators Getting Paid and Square State Colorado, which is all about Colorado. And I do also want to reintroduce Angela Hollowell, who runs Please Hustle Responsibly, as well as Melanin MVP, which is all about women of color in sports, or who are sports enthusiasts. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your holiday season. Enjoy your break. Hope to see you next week.
And have a happy new year, everybody, because we won't see y'all till the new year.
No, we won't.
All right, Michelle. Talk to you later.
Bye, guys. Be safe.